Yeah, I was gonna say I always have to have a reason to go somewhere. I know. I was in San Diego.
Okay, then tell me about that, and I'm gonna mute myself. Tell me the bedtime story of your time in
I
San
get it
Diego.
that time going to San Diego. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Trying to remember. It was cool because there was water. I love going to see the ocean. It's always so weird. Hmm. I went and spent like a day running around an aircraft carrier, which was kind of interesting. And I went to the zoo, which was mostly kind of interesting, but also mostly annoying. And I went to the Japanese botanical gardens. It's texting me. Cool. Why? Why was it annoying? Because I went on the bus tour and the like propaganda is like painfully one-sided. uh, yeah, like I should just, it's like it's that okay. You're trying to get too much message in here to make it palatable. But that was interesting. Um, the snakes kind of actually creeped me out. Like I saw so many snakes that I almost got. It was like almost got like a crawly back. That was interesting. I don't really like snakes that well. Went to the Japanese botanical gardens, which was cool because my mom's friend that lives in San Diego volunteers there and got like the private tour. They were neat. I don't know. I didn't actually do that much. I spent a lot of time just like walking down the waterfront or whatever. And there was a cigar shop that I was going to go to, but I never had a chance to go to there. Then I realized while I was there that you probably couldn't just like randomly smoke a cigar anywhere because you were, in like a big city in California. So like that kind of bummed me out. Like probably lots of no smoking places. It really wasn't that interesting to tell about, I guess. So what I was gonna do, I was actually gonna try to get an open mic, get a slot in an open mic while I was there because I was close to Gaslamp District where there was a bunch of good open mics. But something came out, like you had to sign up from like a week before to try to get a slot, and I don't remember. So whatever reason, like I didn't get my request in. So it would have been a much better story had I actually done that. It was fun. I ran around with my sister for a couple of days. Oh, this is really boring talking to myself. It's hard to force. So work that way. Ah! No, don't apologize. I'm just. Hey, see, I was still talking. Stand up action mark. Yeah, I got into stand up comedy a few months ago. I decided that I liked stand up comedy, and then a week later, I went and found me an open mic and did one, and it was a lot of fun.
Damn it! I thought about asking you that like 3 times.
What?
But I wasn't.
Asking me what?
How that's gone. I remember several times reflecting upon you first coming here, and just
Yeah.
I'm fond of you, and like I didn't pay much attention when you first came in. I remember you saying that.
Yeah, I haven't actually been back. Like I did a bunch before the end of the year, and then I just kind of I don't know my schedule and crap. I just haven't felt like going over. Like there's no point. I have to drive 100 miles to do it, so
I think we're holding.
You have to be in the right mood to go to it.
Would you be able to do it here someday?
I don't know. Maybe that would be interesting.
Could we do? Could we do a Audra Mike night?
That would be interesting. It would probably be a good place to practice because it's.
I don't.
You need to like.
I don't think. Huh? I don't think it would be. I think
You don't think it would be a good place to practice?
Nope.
It would be interesting.
It would be
But I
terrifying.
would have to like.
It would be in no way.
Terrifying.
It would in no way. I thought it'd be a good place to practice when I first said it. Then I was like, whoa, what did you say, Nick? Because
I think it would depend on who's in here.
well, the atmosphere is important. It's hard for you to set the atmosphere in a virtual room, like, and it's not hard. It's just different, and it's also people already have a. When you do stand-up comedy, you are creating your identity through your joke.
I know, that's what's kind of fun about it, is that you're trying to manipulate people that
you
with no like setup. You're just like, I'm here and I'm doing this, and it's like clean slate. Yeah.
If I was a stranger coming in here, I was like, whoa, what's this place? If I did that, oh my God, I'd have so much fun. If y'all didn't know who I was, if I could somehow give you amnesia, just pertaining to me though, if I could wipe you from your memory, if I could wipe me from your memory,
it'd be amusing.
and then it'd be like,
yeah,
hey guys, click the link I stumbled across. I don't know.
I feel like if I could go back and do it, like I would totally like lead people on for a while. Do some like really goofy stuff for a while, and then I would later like be like, all right, no, I'm an ENTP. Like this.
I could redo it. Oh my! If I could redo it,
I know. I thought about that. I'm like, oh man, I wasted so much opportunity just like popping in here and being like, hi, I'm an ENTP. Like that was a lot of wasted opportunity.
I mean, the fact that I already have a set identity in here is just because fucking perceived identities. Oh my God! First of all, nobody has a static perceived identity. Nobody. If you have an identity, it's your own identity, and unfortunately, that gets perverted it gets fucked by other people, and other people's perception of your identity speaks more about who they are than who you are. It's really interesting.
Yeah, no, it's always interesting.
I was
just thinking, I've talked to a couple of people about getting like a mic going in a closer town, but hasn't manifested yet. But got some lines in the water.
I think
that would be nice.
I think if you started doing your shows, and you like crafted something like because I love stand-up comedy, and I know that I'm not good at it because you can't be good at it until you suck at it for a long time. Nobody's ever done that. Nobody's ever skipped that step. I
don't know that you have to suck. I don't know that you have to be good, but
well, okay.
That's not ENTP talk, Nick. Stop that.
When I say suck, I mean like, okay, some people's suck is equal to other people's most realized manifestation of greatness, greatest potential of greatness.
Okay, you're saying on a personal, subjective scale. All right, for framing it that way, I accept your statement.
I think that. Okay, so like, I look at like my career, for example, or anything anybody's good at, and you go through periods where you're like, all right, I know I'm good at this. I'm pursuing it. It's worth all this energy, and I'm enjoying it. And it's fucking, look at this. I have a reason to do this. I have a reason for these shitty days. These shitty days are outweighed by these great days. I'm doing this because this is what I'm supposed to do. Now, some people don't have that. I don't know. I don't know if they do or not. But me personally, and what I've really paid attention to stand-up comics, I think is really interesting. I think there's a lot of parallels to things that, like, sales, for example. I think stand-up comedy parallels the sales a lot. But there's like there's a long period of why the fuck am I doing this in anything that you're really pursuing like that. And every comic that I've said, I've listened to interviews about, has said that. And if you're gonna if you need that like good environment to get that momentum, and then have the reason to keep doing it, even though you know you're funny, other shit will come in and creep in and fuck with that. And that messes with the whole pursuit, in my opinion. It's too dangerous at first.
You've got to have a lot of, for lack of a better term, a thick skin. Like, the thing, I feel like the approach is very similar to the approach with, like, writing fiction. You have to be very self-contained in your motivation. If you're going to be swayed by most of the reactions you get, then you're going to have a bad time. Especially when you're developing.
Yeah.
So you got to go in and go, I'm not here to win yet. I'm here to figure this out.
Well,
so you take the good vibes when you get them, but
and that's easier to do in a consistent, like, you don't. It's okay. We'll parallel this to programming. When you do testing, you don't test two different schemas built on different frameworks. See which one's going to work. I mean, you use the same type of architecture, and you see what code structure is going to work for this particular thing. You know, on the same architecture. You can't go in here and test something where people know you, and then go out and test, like, in a place where you don't give a fuck, and it doesn't sit with you ever. It's gone. You read the audience, and that's all that matters. And people are reading you, and they're taking you at only what you're saying, not who it's coming from. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
yeah, there's a little. I mean, it's one of those things. There's just, yeah. I mean, but like I said, the actual, like, usage of the testing data from the, whatever, is actually pretty, like, that's what I'm saying, is in the beginning, it's pretty vague data. Like, it's not absolute.
Okay, so
and it's not highly consistent. That's the thing about it, is that I've noticed just in the little I've done. Honestly, right now, like, I go, like, it's nice to have the audience, because it's like I don't know, I can almost describe it. It's more or less the idea that there is an FE atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't even matter what it is, just the fact that it's there. Like, if I'm over here practicing, like, looking at the wall, there isn't one at all.
And
so there's
about any.
You're not practicing a certain thing. But yeah, but if there's any people, like, literally, like, most of the mics I've done, there's, like, I think the most I did there was, like, this table full of drunk, like, college students, and there was, like, 15 of them. But most of the time, there's, like, 3 people in the audience. And so that's not a viable test group. But at the same time, the fact that you're there, you're on a stage, you're in a public place, you are testing it in the right sort of water, at the very least.
See, if you, that's when you get a little Adderall, you get a little Adderall, and then you pursue you're like, okay, my ENT powers, like, you're like Blade, who's jumped into the blood pool.
After he jumped into the blood pool, like, as soon as you said that, that's what I imagined. I was like, that's my I love that scene.
Yeah. That's ENTP on Adderall, like, fresh shit.
That's funny.
That's the ENTP on fresh Adderall. Now, that's a good motherfucking metaphor. I've never used that before. I'm proud of that.
It's a very inspiring metaphor.
Yeah.
I feel like some people might not like that metaphor, but I'm totally down with that.
It's accurate.
That's funny.
The most fucking accurate thing I can think of. Now, when you get that thing happening, and you go and you do a couple rooms for 20 people, you get a fill down, and then you come in here, I'm about it. Your Annie doesn't have enough. You don't have enough data, like you were saying. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna run, if anybody that I like is doing stand up without having done some trial runs, because I don't want to have to fake laugh at that shit.
Oh yeah, no.
It's selfish right now, Audra. I don't. I'm a
I know, it's always awkward. It's that same thing when people are like, well, you do music. Can you sing a song for me right now? Can you do this? Can you do that? I'm like, stop asking me. I'm like, come to the, like, venue is important.
It's, you know,
But,
I drove a long time today. I'm back home now. Today was a very eventful day. I drove my aunt to a pain clinic that looked like. First of all, we drove an hour and a half. I got there. I had to leave work. I was out all night trying to figure out this motherfucking database where I finally threw a flag and I'm calling some people I know that do some ETL stuff. And I'm saying, here. I called them already actually. Anyway, that's not the point. I had to leave at 6:30. I left all the lights on and shit. And I went to go pick my aunt up. I drove an hour and a half to this place. I didn't sleep at all last night. Went and drove an hour and a half to this place. And I find myself in this town where it's like and as I'm driving through the town, I'm realizing I haven't ate since like 20 hours ago. I need some food. So we're like, Google Maps says we're gonna arrive at 8:56. We're supposed to be there at 9. So, or 7:56. We're supposed to be there at 8. So she's like, just drop me off, then you go get something. I'm all right. Arrive at this fucking hospital it's just all brick, super, like, you can tell it's from like 70s or 60s. And
I hate those.
no grass. There's no grass. And past 5 things that say pain clinic on it on the way there. And this is basically a hospital turned into pain clinic. And it looks like we're in motherfucking Mexico right now. Promise. We are not in Kansas anymore. I went from, it is a fifth. It's fifth the household family income is the place where we just came from. Drop her off. I go to like the first 2 places, one being Arby's that still had the planogram shit on the window, completely closed, not open for business anymore. It's weird, crazy. Finally get my sandwich, go back there. I'll go to Chick-fil-A finally. Chick-fil-A's open because they got a halfway, really actually really good business model for a fast food joint. Like amazing, actually. And they figured out, I'm gonna move on after this. They figured out how to figure out company culture and shit for fast food. Promise you that. Now, in quality while being cheap.
Right.
I get my sandwich. I got Jack with me. We go back there to the emptyless old hospital that used to. It's like this was placed here in case the North really got to the South, and then when it did, there was probably it's like that. And so I'm like, ketamine infusions, what's that? I think I'm like they're just gonna, inject some ketamine into her because she was doing it for pain relief. So I thought they were just gonna inject it into her fucking calf or something. No, they straight administer heavy ketamines to my aunt. She is tripping her. She is out and whoo. She's saying shit to me like, she's like, "Wow, you talking right now is really cool." Like, what? Is it bothering you? It's like, no, you just sound like you're like coming from down the hall. Is it associative? It's nuts. That's a whole other story. I get done with that though, and then she falls asleep. It's crazy. I'm there for 6 hours with her, still working on my shit that I don't know what I'm doing. Get done with her. Get down there with her. We're on our way to Ohio now because it's my sister's bridal shower tomorrow. So she's, I'm driving her basically. Extreme nausea. She's feeling like shit when just for like the last 5 hours she was feeling like, she told me she felt like she was in the Hunger Games. And, so that all happened. And then she falls asleep as I'm going from this crazy ass place that I don't know how to explain. A bunch of abandoned ass buildings to my hometown. Now I'm passing my weed man. I know this before I leave this crazy ass town. So I say, hey, I want to go. Let's go by Kroger. So I go by Kroger. She sits in the car. I'm in Kroger, and I haven't slept in like a stupid amount of time. I've taken too much Adderall. I'm feeling like I need a reefer, and I feel bad that she feels like she's gonna throw up. So I want a decent car ride home, and so call my weed man. It's a squeeze. I had to practically bribe him to make something work. She falls asleep. Perfect. Hour later, I parked the car in front of my weed man's house. So I'm gonna run in real quick. I set it to where like I said it so that I can say I said it, but I know she didn't really hear me because she's so cocked. She was knocked out. I come out after 5 minutes, fastest blunt I've ever rolled. Told him to break it up for me. And at my plan was to surprise her because I knew she wouldn't like agree to me stopping and stuff. Like I would end up not doing it, but that would make me mad because she'd have all these reasons why she wouldn't want to smoke if I didn't already have it. But if I already had it, she would smoke, and I knew that, and she would be glad that she did, even though she'd put up a big fight. And I didn't want that. So I went and went to sleep. Came out. She's freaking out. She's like, I couldn't find my gun. I couldn't find my gun. Why'd you leave me in the locked car in one of the worst places in town? And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna shit myself. Let's go. I think she's overreacting. No. She's really about to shit herself. So she makes that clear, like, hey, I'm about to shit myself. She makes me like she freaks me out. So I peel out. The traffic is horrible. Like on Google Maps, it's like the darkest red you can go, and it says, "Fucking, you're gonna be here for a while." I'm swerving in and out of traffic. At one point, there's a car that dies like in the middle of the road. I go through a parking lot, speed through shit. We go to a bank. She's like, "Don't go to a bank." I'm like, "Oh, bank will work." Go to a bank. Bank didn't work. I'm like, "Fuck." Maybe this matters worse. How am I going to present this blunt there? Pull out there, go to a Burger King that's literally should be a minute and a half down the road, not even. Takes us 15 minutes to get into that thing because the traffic is so bad. It's not moving. It's one of those things where lights turn green, but you can't go because people are already in the intersection from the last green light. That's what's happening. So
right.
I'm expecting her to shit her pants at any given point. We're not saying anything. I know that she knows that I went to get weed. She didn't say anything about that. She just said, you put my gun somewhere else. How dare you leave me in this car with these people? What if shit would have gone down? And to me, it's like, oh, this is not very scary to me. This looks like my hometown. I feel comfortable here. Anyway, but yet she's like clutching the grab bar and like really squeezing. Like, I know this is DEFCON 5. I drove like I was asking it for. I felt like Starsky and Hutch, both of them combined. And I mean, the shit I did was crazy. Anyway, we get there. She makes it because I don't want to be like, hey, I took a detour to get weed that I didn't tell you I was going to get, and I made you shit yourself. She goes to the bathroom. She doesn't talk to me for a while other than, like, why are you going this way? Finally, she starts saying, what made you think it was okay to get pot? Whatever. I have to talk her into it for, like, an hour. I light up without her consenting. I went through 20 reasons as to why she needed to smoke weed. Because I was right. She was having stomach problems. Everything she was saying is like, oh, this is more information why you need to smoke weed. And then she'd be like saying, and this is what drives me crazy. I wish this is part of the reason why I want to succeed so bad. So I can be like, look, do I have to explain myself anymore? Please stop making me qualify all my shit if you're not going to ask me to qualify it. Why are you going to keep doubting my shit even though every motherfucking time this happens, I'm right? It's crazy. Like, she calls Taylor to verify stuff that I told her a long time ago. It's insane. It's so... I love her, though. But anyway, she is silent, too. Like, she says all these things. Well, what if a police officer comes? Well, that's why I rolled it all in one cigar, so that I can stick it in my butt, I can swallow it, I can throw it out the window, I can do anything with it, but there's nothing else in here. There's nothing else that can produce a charge. Well, it'll smell. It doesn't matter. I can say that I purchased marijuana cologne the other day, and they can't do anything but saying, I knew you didn't, but I can't say you didn't because I don't know that you didn't because I can't prove it. That's all they can say. So, but she wouldn't respond. So I was like, well, I'm going to smoke this. I got it. I'm sorry. I light it up. She hits it, of course. And, of course, she stops feeling nauseous. She starts getting a better mood. Everything I said starts happening. Everything. After this big, humongous fight, and I made this detour for her, I can get weed while I'm here. I didn't need it that bad. And she's still, like, in a funk. And I'm feeling guilty as hell because she's, like, making me feel that way. And I finally had to ask her after, like, tiptoeing, well, was it worth it? She was like, yeah. I was like, okay, that's all I need to know. Because I knew you'd say that. I didn't expect you to go and shit yourself. But yeah. And then we stop at a gas station, and because I need some caffeine and I'm thirsty. And these two kids in front of me check out, and they're walking out. And then there's a short, really skinny Indian man. It's older, probably 46. He looks like super serious. And then a more fun-loving, fluffier Indian man behind him that's just kind of like observing, kind of lackadaisically. But all of a sudden, there's one person that's not with the two people that are in front of him. There was two people in front of him, and somehow some other guy got in front of him. I don't know. Anyway, they start leaving, and then the Indian guy, as they're reaching the door, it's probably 10, 15 feet from, they were about out. He's like, no, you stop. He runs from the counter, the old man. He runs from the counter. He, empty your pockets, now. That's a Chinese man. No, empty your pockets. I saw you. You thieves. I saw you. I look at you. And sure enough, he empties his pockets. He had probably 15 Swisher Sweet wrappers in his pockets. It was crazy. Tons of cigarillos in his pocket that he stole. But he empties it all. And he's like, no, you empty the back pockets too. And he empties his back pockets, and Indian Man straight still takes his keys, cuffs him hard, real hard. This dude's $120. The kid's like 19 years old and 50 pounds on him at least. And the Indian Man takes his keys, grasps them hard, then takes his wallet. Because this kid emptied everything. Because this is a 20-second time interval this all happened. So he grabs his wallet too. So he takes his keys, and then the Indian Man takes his ID card out of his wallet, and he just starts walking back around. No, you stay here. I'm calling the police. Yeah, and I went back to Chinese, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I get it. Accuracy of accent replication is unimportant.
And I'm like, I start freaking out. I'm like, no way, is this really fucking happening? Because this dude, he had a protocol. I was like, man, you've done this before. That was amazing. Thank you. And then I saluted him, the old Indian man. I was like, you've done it. You got his keys so he couldn't leave, and you got his ID so you can call the cops and say, I know exactly who this person is, and he can't make up some fake alias. That is brilliant. Bravo, sir. Thank you for this. This is amazing. And I was like, and I know, what do you got, a revolver behind in your pants or something? Like, you were mighty confident doing that. I know that I was looking at him, and I was like, hey, your buddy was behind the counter. He was real observant. I bet he was about to whip out a shotgun any second. And I just start going crazy. I'm like, y'all practice this? Is this like y'all are like, you are militant right now? I was like, if I would have been recording this shit, I'd 10,000 views by midnight. And I just start clapping, like, oh my God, this is amazing. Tons of old white hicks in the store. All of them probably packing on. And they're every straight face as fuck. Everybody. Kids going crazy. No, sir, don't take my keys. And he's like, I'll pay you $20. And all of a sudden, it's not about the money, it's about the stealing. But the Indian man is like, he really just cares about his money. And so he's like, oh, this is a come up. He starts kind of changing his mind, but not really. I shake the guy's hand, like, the guy that stole, like, thank you for being a dumbass. This is amazing. And I throw a fucking like a crazy fucking celebration. Get back in the car, light up the rest of the blunt, talk my aunt into smoking like way more, and then she tells me about this fucking vision she had, which is really intense. Like you take Christian seriously. I'm a Christian. I call it Christian. I don't know. I talk to God or something, but I reject most Christians talking about this stuff. It's weird to me, but she explained this story.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, intention. Like, it did something. Anyway, then she starts putting on this pastor, and this pastor knows people. Pastors know people. I'll tell you what they do. They know what
they do.
It's insane. This dude's really good. And he said something that was really interesting. He said, people talk to you like they talk to God. And I was like, huh. It got me thinking about it. And I started thinking about every single Christian has told me about God and like the way they've expressed it and the emotional connection they have. And it manifests very similar to how they interact with other people. It's very interesting. In themselves, their ego. Their ego could be God in this situation. I don't know. All that. Now I'm home. I rambled. That was
understandable. I rambled for a while earlier, so your turn.
Howdy.
Hey, Ken.
Yeah.
You talking to me?
Yeah. I have lightning, Audra. Lots of it.
You have lightning?
Lightning! And thunder.
I
What's that?
wish I had some too.
Now when I say things, they'll sound more important. Is that light blub, I'm assuming?
I think so.
Somebody in here just
Yeah.
with the name Blub.
Yeah, it's light bulb. He was gonna like fall asleep to the sounds of NTP monologues. I'm assuming you may have succeeded.
Yeah. So I was trying to expand on some of the ideas we were bouncing around earlier, and I think for introverted perception functions, rather than harmonious or like whatever other term you might use, I think I like the word resonant for them in comparison to the extroverted perceptions. I feel like it's like a sort of pull for like to find resonance with something. Maybe not to find resonance for something, but a sort of, see, I don't know the precise descriptor words to utilize, but perceiving Dom? Yeah, I guess I'm just talking about the introverted perceptions. Like I feel like somebody who is SI seeking, so like an extroverted intuitor, I feel like they're the thing that they're seeking is sort of like physical resonance. Not necessarily physical presence, but physical resonance. Yeah, I like presence for the extroverted perceptions. I like the term presence.
Ken's here.
Indeed, I am. So, I don't know, Audra, do you got any descriptor words that would?
I don't know. I'm pondering.
Okay. So I feel like for extroverted intuition, in order to properly be attuned to what could be, or to be able to be tactical, yeah, thunder.
Tactical.
Was that?
I'm very tactical. Ask me about being tactical.
So, as far as being tactical goes, I think that sort of, I feel like attributing the word conceptual to intuition. And so I would sort of label extroverted intuition as conceptual presence. Whereas I would consider NI to be conceptual resonance, SE to be physical presence, and SI to be physical resonance.
Interesting.
They're words that work for me a bit better, but I don't know if they'll necessarily work for other people.
So I'm very present. Good Lord. if that's the one that has not been altered, that is exactly what I can do. When we saw it, like, this would be perfect. Problem is, it's kind of long. I mean, I guess it's not necessarily a problem. It's just like I like that because it's conservative.
Yeah, like I see. I think maybe I see the connection between the words, but yeah, I don't know that they resonate perhaps as well.
No, sorry.
I do like the word tactical, though. I was thinking about that. That led me on some good thoughts.
Yeah.
Because I think any is very tactical. Or being any Dom, anyway.
Uh-huh.
It's very tactical.
Would you be more comfortable with the term for any conceptual tactics?
I don't know. I mean, what do you mean by conceptual?
I mean, that's the thing. I'm trying to find a better word for the domain that intuition would deal in. If sensing is dealing in physicality or in the mundane, the mundane, as I call it, it's
right.
I mean, it's like, sensory. It's, what your senses can pick up on.
Well, I mean, words that I would associate with kind of the realm of intuition would be like potential, or I don't mind the term metaphysical. Or
Ideas,
but I don't know. I associate a bit more precise of a meaning with the idea of conceptual, but
okay.
It's not my favorite word.
Well, I would very much like to brainstorm words because I would like to come up with terms that sort of communicate what I'm trying to say a bit more effectively. Because I can be like, oh, yeah, I'm an NI-DOM, but if somebody asks me what that means, sometimes I'm at a loss for words unless I can come up with a colorful, snappy, analogy.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to figure out what it is I don't like about using that. Why I don't like that word. It seems, for whatever reason, I think of it as more static than what I think I'm wanting to describe.
So any is more motion oriented, not necessarily physical motion, but
yeah, motion is a big deal.
Okay.
At least it is to me. Part of my concept.
Because
it's generating, not just it's generating.
It's expansive.
Yeah, I mean it's always moving. You might say it's moving within a conceptual space, but it's not. I don't like that.
It's not concepts itself, but through concepts you can pin aspects of it more effectively. I don't know if you would venture that necessarily.
I would think that it's generating concepts.
Okay.
What other concepts?
Like an apple pie is not a good smell, but an apple pie generates good smells. Maybe not necessarily. I'm trying to draw analogies where I can, and I'm willing.
Sort of thing, but the whole of all of that.
Yeah, I'm willing to toss analogies until
it's expansive. I mean, an easy way for me to think about it is extroverted intuition takes one thing and turns it into a bunch, and introverted intuition takes a bunch of things.
I mean, I think of it as you can think of it as like I think of it in my head as geometrically as kind of like a three-dimensional expanding graph, or if you want like an imagery representation, like I actually like the like a thunderstorm front and the way they kind of roll in and just keep growing. I was like that kind of visual too, a bit more of a holistic visual.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of an outside view. Inside, it's just like a graph. Yeah, keeps growing.
I like INFT's description of any
Extroverted creativity.
the bigger one.
Let's say it's
Like
raising ideas, sparking all over the place.
That's visual.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I like that. And describing it as active. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
Because even though you're expanding and you have a frontier of the expansion, you're still the past nodes and the past vertexes are still as equally active. You don't move over the thing, but the thing grows.
So to revisit the daytime, nighttime, or light dark analogy I'd used earlier today, wanted to change that from attributing light to sensing. I wanted to change that to attributing light to extroverted perceptions. Because I feel like there's something about any that has an illuminating quality to it. It's seeing like what is there to be seen. And she's gone. And she's back. I don't know how much of that you missed. And she's gone. Is she back for good? How's it that I'm the one with all the lightning and she's the one lagging out?